Good morning, everyone. My name is Ana. I'm head sales for one of the biggest publishers in Romania. And before starting the actual presentation, I want to give you some background information on how things work around there. My presentation is called How to Make Money and Alienate People, because that's what we've pretty much been doing in the past 2.5 years. And by people, I mean media agencies. Are there any media agencies in the room? Representatives of? That's great, because I'm going to badmouth them. So, so in the past 2.5 years, we've realized that our relationship with media agencies as publishers was sort of conflictual at times. And what we've done, and that ended up in alienating some of them, is take the sales process into our own hands and deal with clients directly. And that has had great results financially, but not so great results in terms of popularity on the market. What I've seen from my empirical observation so far is that most of our conflicts come from the discrepancy between how agencies tend to see themselves, like this. I think that's their perception on themselves, and how they tend to see publishers. Just a second. That's. I think that's how some of the media agencies in Romania tend to see publishers. And the way I've come to this conclusion is just sort of analyze what their suggestions to us for campaigns or projects have been so far. And over the past 2 years, they've sent us some campaigns that were extremely intrusive, and the final effect was sort of a paradox, because they were eroding the confidence and attention of the exact audience they were trying to win for their clients. So we've had one agency ask us to have a tree grow out of the website and sort of tear apart the content. We've had some other client that was an ecological company ask us to implement a banner that would switch off the lights on the website. And of course, we said no to both of these. And then we've had, we have them right now, companies who want to do all sorts of stuff with our website, wrap it up into a gift box, tear it apart, and so on, which is something we don't do and tend to refuse as much as we can. Unfortunately, the market, because of the crisis, is sort of difficult right now, and we don't handle our sales by ourselves only. We have a sales house that handles the relationship with media agencies. So this sales house manages the relationship with media agencies, and we tend to take care of direct clients. For the past 2.5 years, due to all kinds of intrusive projects that we've been given, we switched sides and sort of changed our status from passive platforms where media agencies just come and put their own content and their creative ideas to actual active competitors. So we are tapping the market just like they are, and we are approaching clients directly, which is sort of difficult for them to handle, because they tend to see their clients in a very proprietary way and consider them as their own clients, which no one else can approach. But it has had great results for us so far, and this has the recipe of doing this and increasing sales and revenues has so far had a few elements. First of all, we've strengthened our internal sales team. We have people doing creative work, building microsites, doing banners and all sorts of stuff that used to be outsourced to other companies. We have salespeople who tap the market and go to clients directly and negotiate and offer to do small one-week projects to 1 or 2 year projects that can extend to 3 or 4 years. And we have editorial people who aren't part of the newsroom, the 50 people newsroom, but are involved in our projects, in our advertising projects. Because what we do is go to clients with projects that wouldn't stand a chance with media agencies. In Romania, at least, they think of advertising mostly in terms of banners, in terms of CDRs and CPM, CPC, and so on. What we offer clients is something different that usually gets rejected by media agencies, and that is content projects. We build entire platforms for them. We have dedicated teams of journalists, very good journalists, who are paid to produce content exclusively for those clients. So there's 4 or 5 people writing for ecological projects, there's 4 or 5 people writing for medical projects, and so on. So that's how we're trying to think things out. We're going to clients with stuff that goes on long term. We don't want to win their attention with fast moving campaigns that will go on for a week and then disappear. We're trying to talk to PR people, and not so much media agencies, but PR people who understand that it's important to associate the company with interesting projects and with content-filled campaigns. And the basic idea that we've started off with is that you need to give clients something in return for their attention. You cannot just smack them over the head with an intrusive banner and steal away their click, and then have them go back to what they were doing without any information and any other perception of the brand that they had before. This is basically what I would recommend other publishers, if I can give any recommendations, to have an internal sales team that's quite good at what it does, to do projects that aren't available in the market, and do the heavy stuff that's out there to be done. And I'll just have a slide with some of our salespeople. Oh, no, I don't have. So this is a slide of our financial results so far, and this is just the financial results we've had internally. I'm not talking about the revenues generated by our sales house from media agencies. So this is just direct clients. This is the first half of 2008. I couldn't put numbers there because they're confidential, but it shows that we've increased our internal sales twofold in the first half of 2009, and then 6.4 times compared to 2008 in the first half of 2010. We don't have year-end results so far, but I think we've managed to withstand the financial crisis. The online advertising market in Romania has gone down 20, maybe 30% annually since the financial crisis has begun, which makes this growth even more interesting for us, because that has helped us sort of compensate for the losses we've had from the other side, from our relationship with media agencies. And I'll just have another slide showing you the increases we've had this year. This is what we've done. And this is what media agencies have provided for us. So as you can see, their sales reflect the market drop. They have minus 27% and even 60% month over month, while we've managed to compensate their losses and thus avoid having to fire people or decrease the quality of our content or accept very intrusive campaigns that we would otherwise have to accept if we were very financially troubled. Okay, so this is the sales team. We aren't that many people as you would think. We're basically 4 or 5 people that do sales, really the sales work, and then we have 2 people doing the actual implementation of stuff, the creative and the programming behind the microsites or the banners that we do, and that's aside from the content people that produce content for our platforms. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and give you some examples of what we've done so far. We've had this project which is called Think Outside the Box. It was done for a mineral water company. You see the branding out there, up there for them. This is a very easy platform to handle. It's basically WordPress that we've customized for them. And what we did is hire a very talented man who used to be an MP from Romania to the European Commission handling ecological issues. So he was very aware of what was going on both in Romania and in the region in terms of ecology and sustainable living and so on. So he was very passionate about starting a website like this because there isn't a similar one in the Romanian market right now. And we've sold this to the mineral water company exclusively. That means that we don't go approach other clients for this platform. And we've sold it for 1 year entirely, and they will extend it with another 1 year period right now in December. And it's been doing great so far. They have 4 people, I think, right now. They have a Facebook group that's really strong. I think they have some 2,000 or 3,000 fans. You have here some traffic results from their platforms in September. They have 123,000 unique readers, and what's interesting about this is part of them don't go to Hot News, which is the main platform and it's really strong, and then go to Think Outside the Box via the promotional articles we post on Hot News, but they go there directly. So I think that's the percentage stands at 30 or 40% right now. So that's their loyal audience who goes to them directly. And I think that's great, and they will continue to grow. They will tap some European funds next year, so they have big plans of expanding this project. And it's basically more or less out of our hands right now. They have full independence, full editorial independence. They can write their own stuff. No one has to approve. The PR team of the mineral water company doesn't approve the articles. They have just full independence from us and from the company they're advertising on their website. So that's a great way for them to work. And they've done a partnership with Discovery, and they sort of exchange content. They took a trip to Kazakhstan this summer, and they reported on that. They do offline projects, so all sorts of exhibitions, or they endorse cycling competitions. It's a great project, and we're happy about doing this. And it actually and it also gives us some financial relaxation, sort of to say, because long-term projects are mean monthly constant revenues coming in, so you don't have to, you're free from the constant pressure of of making money to support the 50 people newsroom that that we have. And so that's one of the projects we did. The other one was for a medical company. It's called MedLive, because the company is called MedLife. And the tagline for this is "Live from the OR." And that's one of the projects that we started off with. Basically, we live streamed. This is a capture from that. We live streamed a C-section on the website when we first started. It wasn't bloody and horrifying. It was professionally done, and it had a great audience. We had 90,000 page views and 270 comments, and just a 12-hour time frame on this particular article. So that was a great way to start things off. And since then, we've broadcasted other surgeries and stuff from their ORs. What they wanted us to build is a platform where they have an entire network of private hospitals and clinics, and on all sorts of specialties. So they have both physical stuff and psychological doctors. And what they wanted was a platform that would connect their doctors and physicists with the audience, and sort of build their personal brands, and have them turned into specialists that are always there for patients. And that's what we did for them. They have, it's a newer platform than the one before, so their unique readers haven't hit the 100,000 threshold yet. But we're going to develop this, and we want to turn it into a resource for information on all sorts of medical subjects. And we've added a forum to this just recently. I think it's been 2 weeks, where doctors will provide advice as much as they can provide, because the best way to do it is just go to the doctor and talk to them directly. So that's another platform that we did, and right now we're working on some other projects. We have one for architecture that will also go on for 6 months or even 12 months. We have one for that is going on until the end of this year, promoting not mobile phones but the traditional telephones that we used back in the communist era, and it's a campaign filled with the nostalgia, and the good type of nostalgia, not the bad one. So this is what we've been doing, and this is what we'll continue to be doing. This is something that was quite inspirational from us. It's from Madman also. So I would end up with a positive message, that is, try to stay away from what the market is doing, and try to stay away from the price competition that is right now going on CPMs and banners, and that's constantly dragging down profits for publishers, and find innovative ways of getting revenue and of offering something that the rest of the market is too busy to provide. So that's my presentation. I think it's shorter than it had to. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer. Please. Mm-hmm.
What you do, because it takes guts to stand. the media agencies, but
Thank you.
you being a publisher poses a very important question about the bias, because what you're doing is custom publishing, and how does this activity
Influences.
keeps your journalist free from bias? What happens if you have two clients who are competitors, and two players on the market who are competitors, and one of them is your client?
Mm-hmm.
You being a media should be publishing independently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm glad you asked that, because that helps clarify how we actually do things. And I'll start off with an example that actually happened. We've had one telecom company in Romania, one of the three biggest telecoms, offer clients a product that was quite controversial. What they did was sign up their clients automatically to a 3-month insurance for their homes, which is free. And if they wanted, they could extend that. But that's illegal, because you cannot sign up people automatically just because you want to products on the market. It may be a gift, and it may be a good marketing strategy, but that didn't work legally. It was a legal issue. So what we did was our journalists wrote on that subject very, very objectively, and there were hundreds of negative comments for that company, and it was very difficult for them to grasp that. And they were our clients at the same time. So they were paying us for this telephone campaign I was telling you about with a nostalgia theme. And at the same time, our newsroom was writing articles about them and pointing out that what they were doing was illegal, and they were having hundreds of comments, of negative comments. So that was difficult for even for them to understand, and they called us in to see what's wrong with this and what are we doing. But we had to explain that one thing doesn't influence the other. We have 50 people doing the reporting, the day-to-day reporting, and we have dedicated teams which don't report day-to-day but are exclusively dedicated to advertising projects, and one and the other don't influence themselves. So it's the fact that you're buying advertising with us doesn't guarantee that the newsroom will stay away from any important subjects. We hope to educate the clients into actually getting this across. Hello.
As I understand, you're media and you're publishing news, right?
Mm-hmm. I am what?
Your company, Hot News,
yes,
is a publisher, is publishing news, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then I have a little bit of disagreement with you.
Mm-hmm.
As I know, in my humble experience and opinion, what is making money is good quality of journalism, not PR articles. Then what differs you from a media agency as a publisher? And the second question is...
could you please repeat this one? I don't think I
So what
understood.
differs you if you're selling journalists to the clients from the media agencies or the classical marketing agency? And the second question is, do you have a disclaimer when your journalists are writing articles that are connected to your clients that saying this is sponsored by this client?
Okay, I'll answer to what I think I understood from the from the first question. We don't have our actual editorial team involved into the advertising projects, so we don't have 4 of the 50 people now in the newsroom write on telecom or on dedicated, on sponsored articles. What we do is hire external people, as we did with the MP, with the former MP. So we don't take them from the newsroom, we just hire new ones. And that's something we can do Because we have revenue. We sell the project, we tell the sponsor that this is going to take 4 people or 3 people, and that's included in the budget that they're paying. So we have the budget to pay the new people, and that's what we do. We hire them, and they're dedicated to that project. They don't put news on the main platform. I think that's the answer to the first question. And the second one is, yes, of course, we have P, the standard P sign for sponsored articles. If that's... Yes?
First of all, let me congratulate on your bold move. So my question is, what was your biggest challenge when switching your strategy to ditching the media agencies and approaching the clients yourself? How did you manage to cope with the... myself, I have a problem when at present they say we already have a marketing agency, and if you want something you have to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And one more question is, how do you generate your leads?
How do we generate our leads?
Yeah, your clients. How do you approach? How do you get clients?
Okay. First of all, as regards media agencies, this is a constant challenge. We didn't completely ditch them. We have our media, we have our sales house handling the relationship with them, and we supervise what they do. So it's, if they say yes to really intrusive projects, we say no, and that stops there. But we try to constantly negotiate our relationship with them. When I first started off 2.5 years ago doing this, because I used to be a journalist before that, so I had absolutely no sales experience, I was really enthusiastic about maintaining the relationship with agencies, and sort of went on a friendly tour, meeting all the agencies and trying to make friends, but that didn't work. And what we saw is that even if we constantly sent suggestions to them and talk to them, let's try and do this, let's try and do that, because they have lots of clients and very very little time to spend on each of that client. Some of our suggestions didn't get through to the final client. They ended up in the agency. So they have very little time to spend on our propositions and on what their client needs. So that's what we just took the shorter way and said, we're not good at handling agencies. Let the sales house do that, and we'll just handle clients directly. What was the second question?
The question was, how do you respond to when you approach a client, he says, I have this media agency that is in charge for our marketing.
Yes.
So now you're direct competition with the media agencies.
What we do, there are 2 main scenarios. There's this scenario that the client says yes, but I want the budget to be transferred to you via my media agency. So they basically get their commission, and they're okay with us doing their part of their jobs and just getting the commission, and we're friends. We're okay with that agency, with those agencies. Or the client doesn't mention the agency, and they just want to do the project directly, and then we have the media agency calling us and saying, oh, you took my budget, and that will affect what we are going to give you in the future, and so on. So there are conflictual and friendly situations. We never tell clients to give us the budgets directly, so we're not a Barracuda-style publisher. We want everyone to get the money, but to get money if there is enough, but we want to do projects. We want to keep working. We want everyone to do their jobs and be involved, and so we don't want them to be taken out of the loop. But if the client doesn't mention them, we don't either. And that's I think a sort of risky approach, but it's my personal view that if you're a media agency and you have your client and a publisher goes and does a project with that client and doesn't involve you, that means two things. That basically you had that client and you weren't able to provide him with the right projects that he would say yes to. And you have a problem maintaining loyalty with your clients. So they're paying you and they have a contract with you, and still they say yes to a project from a third party that they didn't know before. Because some of the times it's a first-time contact. There aren't long relationships that we're working on. Many times it's the first contact with the client, and they say yes to our projects. Okay.
If you could give us some background on hot news and make it clear about the content, sponsored part, and journalism, because people may be under the idea that you are selling news, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so hot news was one of the first, actually no, it was the first online newspaper 10 years ago. It was started 10 years ago. And what helps us in the sales process and in differentiating what's advertising and what's content is that hot news was started by 3 journalists. So it's something that started off as a purely editorial project, and they're very dedicated journalists, and the newsroom is the boss in our organization. And whenever we have clients trying to do stuff, and would you please post up my press release, and would you please do this, and come to the sales team, we have the newsroom just throwing out our stuff from the website, and just so it's not complicity between us and the newsroom. We don't go to them and say, I have this client paying us a great deal of money, please don't write bad stuff about them. We're just persona non grata to them, and we don't go into their rooms. And so it's very things are kept very separate. Some other things that I could tell you about hot news is that it's one of the last independent platforms right now in journalism. We have a very mogul-based journalism in Romania right now. There are 3 or 4 main media groups that are each politically involved and have all sorts of liaisons on the political arena. So this is one of the last independent platforms, I'd like to think, which gives us a great benefit with clients who want to stay away from any political quarrels that might be going on. So we have a pretty good image on the market, and I think that has helped us keep standards high and not accept just everything that was being thrown to us. Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.